What up, Pittsburgh Steelers fans? Here is our quick takeaway video following the Steelers' win over the Baltimore Ravens. The Steelers got it done in the second half. The defense got it done for the Steelers today, plus a special team super play, plus a special Kenny Pickett touchdown to George Pickens. We've got our quick snap takeaways here for you right now. Well, as I record this right now, as I do it less than a minute before the end of the game, TJ Watt with a strip sack. So he's going to definitely get added to our takeaways from the game. But let's start off with the first one. Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett had a really good game today. I think, again, this comes down to the counter offense, but 224 yards, no interceptions, one TD, even though he was sacked 3 times. That is pretty special from Pickett in a game like this. He had one more yard than Lamar Jackson. So pretty incredible from that perspective. Takeaway number 2, Jaylen Warren. This is really a takeaway or something that surprised anyone. Jaylen Warren is an absolute pocket rocket. He kept this team alive in the second half. I said it on Marky D's live stream. Where there's a Warren, there is a way. Awesome stuff from Jaylen Warren. I'm actually going to have something out later this week. I noticed something in this game which I think is the difference between Najee and Jaylen Warren and what it means for the team and the difference. You can't get rid of either. Obviously, a lot of people call him Jaylen Warren to be the number one, but there is different things that will happen with Najee and Warren, and it's nuance there that's really, really important. Takeaway number 3, George Pickens is a playmaker. Now, but not just a playmaker, I actually think he has firmly cemented his status as the 1B, but probably the 1A. And it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Deontay when he's back. But he had the 1 rush for the 16 yards. He had 130 yards on 6 receptions for 1 TD, along of 41. I mean, incredible TD, the go-ahead, the game-winning TD. It's just absolutely incredible from him. Wow, I'm so happy for him and how he's come along. He's just exceptional. The Steelers, again, with a second and third round, in his case, the second drafted wide receiver who is just absolutely killing it. Wow. The fourth takeaway that I have is around is Broderick Jones. Now, Broderick Jones, I thought, had a really good day at the office for his first full start. I do need to, obviously, offensive line play is very hard to judge in-game, but he did have a really strong game, and I think Dan Moore's now on the back foot. Dan Moore and Okorafor need to think really carefully about how they're going to approach this, because I don't see why after a game like today you'd mix that up. The run game was a bit better, but why would you mix that up after the bye when you've got a first-round draft pick in Broderick? I can't see them pushing him back. So I think Broderick is definitely here to stay, which is a great thing, I think, for the Steelers offense and the Steelers rhythm. Next takeaway comes down to the linebackers. A massive game, which it has to happen against the Ravens. I said on Mark's live stream, I hated the tackling. The tackling was non-existent. I mean, Kazi, bye-bye. But the linebackers, total tackles there. You can see it on your screen right now if you can zoom in. They literally had 23 combined tackles between E-Rob, Alexander, and Holcomb. The 3 inside linebackers all brought in this season. 1 tackle for loss from Holcomb. Holcomb had a pretty strong game, I thought. I do want to go back and look at the tape on that before I commit to him saying he had a stellar game, but I do think he had an outstanding game, and I think that's terrific for the Steelers as well. The Steelers obviously just kicked a field goal as I'm recording this, so it's 17-10. That's why I didn't say the score at the start. But yeah, you also had the 1 sack from Quan. That was really big. And TJ obviously had the 2 sacks, a strip sack. Alex Highsmith had a strong game. So the linebacking core was core and crucial and key and whatever other significant, whatever other word you want to use, to beating Baltimore. And that had to be the case. And I think they grew into the game. So we just need the linebacking core now, particularly more the inside linebacking core, to keep this up. I think the bye week comes at a great time for them to get rested after a really tough start of the season. 49 is probably one of the best team, probably the best team in the NFL, maybe, at least one of the best. Cleveland's always a tough game. Ravens is always a tough game. Houston will hurt people at home with a new offense that's hard to scheme against. So now it's a really good chance for linebackers to get rested, to get a bit healthy after a tough start to the season against a lot of run-heavy teams, and get ready for a really important matchup against the LA Rams. So that's the next takeaway. We'll go back to Kazi. I don't like what they're scheming here with Kazi. I don't like the way he's fitting with the mix. I know that he can work, but it has not looked good all season. And then the final takeaway, which is number 6 or 7, Joey Porter Jr., that interception writes itself into Steelers folklore with the win too. I mean, talk about pressure. He was all over Beckham Jr., made Odell Beckham Jr. look like an absolute no-name. Took advantage of maybe the worst passing, well, the worst throw, not necessarily play, but the worst throw from the Ravens all day. Porter Jr. took advantage of that. To me, he's earned the right to be number 2 and work his way to number 1 on the Steelers depth chart now. And so overall, the full takeaway and reaction to this win over the Baltimore Ravens, the Steelers to go 3-2 and top of the AFC North, is the comeback kids. Think about all the guys that did it. Warren, second year. Pickens, second year. Pickett, second year. Porter, rookie. Benton had a good game in defense. He's a rookie, but obviously Broderick Jones, a rookie. The Steelers comeback kids get the win against Baltimore. How good is it? As always, go Steelers.